MoneyLine, Kansas City station for news, traffic, and weather. 98.1 FM, KMBZ.
Oh boy, I feel so much better. I'm through paying taxes for the whole year. It's all my money. You're the same way, by the way. But one other thing we want to talk about that'll make you feel even much better than that issue is the issue of our costs involved with medical insurance and medical costs. And I've invited a really good friend of mine, one that I've known for many, many years, Scott Borden. He's with Ameriflex. Scott, first of all, talk a little bit about the company Ameriflex, and then let's talk about specifically what Ameriflex not only does, but can help us to save money when it comes to medical expenses and medical insurance.
Well, the primary thing we do at Ameriflex is we help people save taxes on their healthcare expenditures. And we were talking about just before the show began here, there's only between health savings accounts and flexible spending accounts, which are two of the primary products that Ameriflex offers through employer groups throughout the entire country. There's still only 50 million people taking advantage total between the two of them combined. There's over 300 million people in this country. In other words, unless you have zero medical expenses, the rest of the country are paying those medical expenses with after-tax dollars. It is literally a 30% off coupon or discount, if you will, simply by utilizing these tools that have been out there for a long, long time. So Ameriflex has been around for 20 years. We have actually already saved Americans over $1 billion in taxes in that 20-year period of time. Now that's a whole lot of food, that's car payments, that's college tuition, that's a whole lot of money that would have gone to taxes that's now back where it belongs in Americans' back pocket. So we've done a very good job so far, but Peter, there's a whole lot of work to go.
And I'm always amazed because, you and I have talked about this for many years. In fact, I remember talking about just exactly this issue more than 20 or 25 years ago during one of my earlier programs when I said there is a way to go, but America has still not, in the Internal Revenue Code, realized that we could do this by using pre-tax dollars. And finally, we had a little bite of it, and then came the big change where we now have flexible spending accounts, as they're referred to, and health savings accounts. Tell us how those work.
Well, the flexible spending account is the one that has to go through an employer group. The employer has to be offering a group health insurance, a group medical insurance plan, but then employees would have the option of putting up to $2,650 this year into a flexible spending account. So that's an account that they can use to pay for all of their unreimbursed medical expenses. That's the insurance deductible, the co-insurance, the co-pays, and then a lot of things that aren't even necessarily covered by insurance. You could have a dental insurance plan that only pays 50% or 80%, so that leaves you responsible for a big chunk of your dental expense. And most dental plans only cover up to $1,000, maybe $2,000 a year anyway. So you can be paying for the rest of your dental expense, your prescription eyeglasses, your contact lenses, all of these things with pre-tax dollars through a flexible spending account that some employers are offering, but unfortunately, Peter, a whole lot of them are not even offering them. And then the other thing is, only 20 to maybe 25% of the employees that have access to an FSA actually enroll in it. I think the concern is the use it or lose it part.
Yes.
Because at the end of the year, the flexible spending account, if you haven't spent it, that money does roll back to the employer. And the reverse side of that is true. Some employers are afraid to offer an FSA because if the employee allocates all $2,650 and then goes and gets LASIK eye surgery or spends all $2,650 up front and then the employment terminates before the end of the year, the employer is actually out that net amount. So one thing that's very unique that Ameriflex does is we will guarantee that employer at the end of the year, if there's a net loss because more employees have spent than what they've contributed into the FSA account, we will guarantee them that they will not lose that money. We will refund them the difference.
Again, I want to just make sure that our listeners clearly understand what we're talking about here. Right now, generally speaking, when you have a medical expense, what are you doing? You're paying it out of your pocket. And for example, to get, say, $100, you have to have made at least 150, 175, depending upon your bracket. So you make 150, you make 175, you pay your Social Security tax, federal, state, etc. Now you may have $100 to use. But what we're talking about here is that you make full use of that gross amount, that 175, to make use of to make available to be used for your expenses. So that's what we're talking about when we say pre-tax. It means that the amount of money you have to spend has not been reduced by any tax. I just want to make sure that you, our listeners, understand what we're talking about here, because the real beauty of anything, just like your IRA, think of your IRA, the same thing, right? If you have an IRA, you got 100% of your money, you want to invest in the stock or wherever, you got 100% of it. Yes, down the road you'll pay a tax, but not with this type of an account. You get the full-blown benefit and never pay tax on anything on this.
So we're trying to simplify the process at Ameriflex. We've been around for 20 years, one of the top 5 in the entire country. We offer class-leading customer service. We make sure that the insurance brokers that work with us, that when they give us the group to work with, they know that we're going to take care of this group properly. We're going to answer the phone. We're all in the United States, by the way. We have 2 different phone centers, 2 different offices, fully functional, one in New Jersey. I was actually there Thursday of this week, swinging by there real quick. And then we have another one in Dallas. So even if we have weather knocking out New Jersey due to bad weather, we're fully functional, able to answer all our group's questions out of the Dallas office and vice versa. So we have redundant offices set up to make sure the phones are answered here in the United States. We're taking care of people for their FSA, their health savings accounts, which you and I have been talking about this for, 15 years now.
Absolutely.
Here in on KMBZ, talking about the triple tax advantages of putting money in pre-tax, actually earning interest on this money tax-free, and as long as you spend it at some point in time on your medically related expenses, whether it's this year or next year or into retirement, it comes out the backside tax-free. It is the best tax advantage product that's ever existed. There was another article I read just this week that said experts are expecting a couple that live into retirement are going to need around $280,000 to pay for unreimbursed medical expenses. Of course, as far as these estimates go, just a couple of months ago, another estimate said $400,000 is going to be necessary. We don't know exactly how long you're going to live. We don't know how much money exactly you're going to need, but why not put back tax deductible money now into the amazing triple tax advantage health savings account? Because the HSA account, that money does not, it's not use it or lose it. It does roll over from year to year. It is the employee's money all the way through, and yet there's only 23 million people taking advantage of the triple tax advantage health savings account.
And there are employers who have both FSAs and also HSAs. And as you said, a lot of employees don't even take advantage. And I really think the reason is because a lot of the employers don't call on their brokers to really come in and explain the details, or not enough. And the average employee, unfortunately, doesn't understand it. But for those who do, they're coming out way, way, way ahead. It's no doubt. You're making full use, 100% use, of every dollar that's set aside for this particular purpose. And in fact, what happens is you get a deduction. It's just like an IRA, right? If you do an IRA, what are you doing? I'm not talking about a Roth now. I'm talking about a regular IRA. When you put money aside, what happens? You take money, you put it in the IRA, you get a tax deduction. The same thing happens here, although a lot of employers have, you can go beyond that. They have even better plans than that. And the bottom line is, it's important, as you're listening to us, if you're currently employed and you have an employer who does not have an HSA, just tell them health savings account, that you heard it on KMBZ, that employer should call their broker and find out about getting more benefit for him, by the way, because it saves him money as well, and saves you money, and it's a win-win-win situation. There's no loser. Well, yeah, there's a loser, Uncle Sam, but so what? He loses money all the time anyway. So, but the real benefit, all joking aside here, is that it's a plan for the benefit of the employer, the employee, and his entire family.
Absolutely. And if they can't remember Ameriflex, which is myameriflex.com is the website, they can always just look up HSA Guy. I've had the HSA Guy license plate now for 11 years, and it's all over the internet. If they look up HSA Guy, they're going to find me, and I'd love to tell them about how Ameriflex could be helping that employer group save a tremendous amount of money on taxes and also help their employees understand and manage their health care dollars much more effectively.
And also we want to stress one other thing. If we have any brokers that are listening here this afternoon, if you're not involved with providing this kind of a service to your clients, to your companies, the companies that you service, you're dropping the ball. Because here's where your guy will really love you, and so will his employees, for having made to them available information on this type of plan. And of course, the best way again to find out more about this, and the only way you can get the whole story about what this is all about, is simply by going to Ameriflex. You go to myameriflex.com. That's MyAmeriflex.com. And by the way, this does not have to be a big company of 100 employees. You know, it can be a small company. It can be people. You might have a business and you only have 10 or 15 people in your employment. Hey, call your broker and say, listen, I heard about this. Are you involved with this at all? And if he says no, suggest to him that he make contact with Ameriflex.
We offer the same single point of service whether they have 15 employees or 15,000 employees, Peter. So we work with all size groups everywhere throughout the entire country.
We're talking about one of the best products out there that was finally created by the federal government, and so few people and companies take advantage of HSAs. I want to talk more about it. I want you to get your pencil and paper. If you haven't already written down the information that we just talked about, you'll be able to get the details as we come back after these announcements.
Good morning, Perkins people. Welcome to another day.
That was good. I like that.
Oh yeah, and
That was the
again,
best.
we got one thing I didn't. Well, yeah.
I don't think we have time to get into who qualifies for an HSA unless we just real quick.
Oh, I think we've got time, because I'm not going to push you out here. I'm going to let you go all the way. You've got at least
Until what is
10
it,
minutes.
58?
58, so you've got time. I mean, I've got things I can talk about, and I don't mind, but I was going to give you a whole half hour here.
Okay,
So if you
cool.
want, you're welcome to expand on this. But let's look.
So let's just back up then, and because we started talking about what Ameriflex offers, and I got into the FSA, and I didn't really talk about COBRA. The differentiators, the FSA guarantee, single point of contact, but maybe the biggest thing is the brokers are afraid to hand off their clients to a service that might drop the ball and make them look bad.
Yes.
And that's one of the biggest reasons why they aren't embracing. A whole lot of brokers don't embrace a true partner that's going to work with them, and I think that's a big point. They're afraid to offer these products that
Yes.
they don't pay them any compensation, and they create a big headache.
Yeah. Well, that's true. I can understand that.
So yes, it can save employees money, save the employers money,
Yes.
but it's a headache to the broker. So hey, we are a company that does it.
But you take it, but you take that headache out for their back.
Well, we've been best in class for 10 years in a row. All those awards across the bottom down there, all kinds of awards we've won for our customer service. So that the comfort and the trust that a broker can have that they're turning their clients over to a company that knows what they're doing and is going to do it the right way. I think
I think it's so important if we get a broker in, but I don't know if you can do that or not. It'd be nice to get somebody to explain to us exactly what he's been doing and how he brought it to the attention of his clients and the feedback that he's gotten from them.
Yep.
If we can do it. I don't know. And like I say, the real headache is you got to be careful.
Yeah.
Because you invite one, and everybody else that hears just says, how come you invited him and not me? And that then creates headaches.
Yep. So true.
For 8 years in a row now, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction.
No, I think that was the best segment I think we've had so far. That was good.
largest mortgage lender at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com. That's 800-QUICKEN. Based on Rocket Mortgage data in comparison to public data records.
And as you've told me, I don't know how many times before, just slow down, enjoy it.
Yeah, I tend to be that way. I always, when I do these monologues, I tend to, I'm like you, I'm in a hurry to do it, and I say it to, and I always say to myself, I tried, and finally I think this time I actually slowed down a little, that I do the same thing.
Well, let's actually maybe talk COBRA a little bit.
Okay.
Because COBRA is something, there's an article I was looking up last week, 90%, IRS estimates 90% of businesses are doing COBRA incorrectly. And the fine for not doing COBRA correctly is tens of thousands of dollars per employee.
Yeah, no. But see, you got to explain, because you and I know what COBRA is, but you got to explain to people, what are we talking about when we say COBRA?
And I don't want to talk about the consolidation omnibus.
Oh, no, you can't. Don't get, you can't take it too far. You got to just touch the highlights.
Okay.
If you take it too far, you'll lose everybody.
Right.
That's what I'm always worried about on what we're talking is whether everybody really understands.
MoneyLine with Peter Newman on 98.1 FM, KMBZ.
Well, I finally got a piece of music here that I really like. Hey, you're doing good. I'd say that to our engineer. Welcome back. We're talking with Scott Borden. He's with Ameriflex, and we've been talking about HSAs, FSAs. We talked about Ameriflex, let you know what kind of company Ameriflex is. So, you know, something I think most Americans have come to know and probably don't understand, and that is COBRA. What exactly is COBRA, and and how do you all help in that regard?
Well, you have to be careful with COBRA, or you might get bit.
Right, absolutely.
Does that fit?
That's the one that I know.
All right. But the one that relates to employer groups has to do with their medical insurance plan. So if an employee is on their group medical insurance plan and they're terminated, then they have the opportunity to stay on the group health insurance plan up to 18 months, and in special situations 36 months, so on and so forth. So this creates a paperwork issue for the employer where, okay, I have a terminated employee. Do I then want to be sending out invoices to that employee? A notice has to go out a specific period of time. The employee then has to enroll in COBRA and has to pay all this back premium. And here's the little thing that a lot of people don't understand, Peter. A lot of people think COBRA premium costs way more than their group health insurance plan. The truth is, it's the exact same insurance policy without the employer contributing how much they've been paying.
Yes.
So they might think, hey, my insurance was only $300 a month, and now it's $1,800 a month to cover my family. Well, that's because your employer was paying that other $1,500 a month difference. But a lot of Americans don't understand that. They think COBRA is a different insurance plan. It is not. It's their opportunity to remain on the same plan they had previously. So that creates an issue for that employer trying to make sure all these notices go out. Like, for example, when an employee first comes onto benefits, they're supposed to send out an initial COBRA notification letter. I cannot tell you how many employer groups do not do that.
Yes.
In fact, I was looking at an article just a couple weeks ago, and the IRS estimates 90% of employer groups are not handling their COBRA properly. They're missing some of the notifications. They're not getting them out on a timely manner. And the audit, if you go through an audit and you fail an audit with an IRS, the penalty is $110 per employee per day. It's around $40,000 a year per employee that you're not taking care of properly with all your notices for COBRA. So it's much, much simpler for an employer, instead of trying to dedicate part of their HR department to do their own COBRA in-house, hey, you can outsource it. And now with Ameriflex, what's really cool is we have these computer feeds, EDI feeds they're called, where we can tie into their benefit admin technology. We can tie into their payroll so that as soon as an employee is terminated off of payroll, we receive an electronic notice notifying us that that employee has been terminated, and we immediately send out that COBRA notification. We have a lot of processes that Ameriflex does are fully automated, taking the the chance of human error out of it so that make sure that these notices do go out in a timely manner. And we work with employer groups of, like I said, of any size, anywhere throughout the country to make sure that they're compliant with all their COBRA notifications. And so we send out that notice, and if that employee elects COBRA, they notify us, they pay us, we put the money back to the employer, and they just continue paying their premium. But all of those notices are done electronically. We have a time date stamp to make sure that we can prove that those notices went out in time and when the notification went to the insurance company on a timely manner. And just that has saved some employers tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars of claims that maybe they might have had to pay if we didn't have everything time date stamped. So that's a huge service, and it's a complicated mess, but we simplify that through technology.
Scott, I don't frequently ask you, but I would like for you to give us your phone number. We've given Ameriflex, and again, that's myameriflex.com, AMERIFLEX.com, myameriflex.com. But I'm sure we've got some listeners who maybe just tuned us in, weren't sure exactly what we may be talking about, would like to maybe talk with you so that you can clarify in more depth to them on a one-to-one basis what this is all about, and probably even some insurance brokers out there are thinking to themselves, maybe I ought to know a little bit more about how I can save and help my clients, my business clients, out, how I can help them to help their employees.
Well, the best place to reach me is always on my cell phone. That's 913-333-1157. That's 913-333-1157. And you're exactly right, Peter, because a lot of insurance brokers are hesitant to partner with somebody. They typically will just, okay, maybe the insurance company offers their own FSA or offers their own health savings account, and it's like, I really don't want to get involved because it's not any money-making thing, and it's a whole lot of hassle, and if it goes sideways, it looks bad on the broker. Mm-hmm. So a lot of brokers are out there, it's like, hey, here's a cheap one, you go choose one, and whatever you want to do. And so what we want the producers to know, we want to partner with the best producers that understand the value of quality of customer service, because we're going to bring that at an extremely high level. In fact, Ameriflex won the Best in Class award 10 years in a row from Benefit Selling Magazine, and that survey goes out to 200,000 brokers throughout the country. So the brokers have voted Ameriflex as the best in class. We truly are looking for producers that want to partner with us to offer best in class to the employers throughout the country.
And you've got absolutely nothing to lose, especially if you're a broker. You're in the business, right? You want to help out your customers, your clients, and here's a golden opportunity for you to help somebody and to get that across to the employer, and then to the real benefit to the employees. And by the way, the employer has a lot of benefit. They save money as well, no doubt about it, by participating in this. They make a wonderful program even more wonderful. You know, we talk about 401ks and all these other great programs, but very rarely do I ever find any client of ours that I know of that ever talks about the real good things that he's accomplished for his employees and for himself by having this kind of a plan readily available. And it's so simple, again, to find out all the details. You've got to understand. You know, we've been talking about it here for about 20 or 30 minutes, but you need to do a one-on-one meeting so you really get the complete overview. I think if you do, you yourself will say, oh my gosh, I've missed the boat. I better catch it here and catch it quick, because I'm here to service my client as a broker, and I've only been doing maybe a good job, but how about doing a great job? And you can do that, again, by calling Scott Borden at Ameriflex. His number is 913-333-1157. Well, I hope you have a great week. Scott, thank you for joining us. We're going to be back here next Saturday to answer your financial questions right here on KMBZ's MoneyLine.